En natuurlijk, zoals elke week gaan we natuurlijk ook een leuk fantasy segment doen met onze enige echte fantasy kenner uit de US of A, Bobby McMahon. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing good, guys. How's it going?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How about Justin starts you off here?
Yeah, we're going to start off with your 3 waiver wire tips of the week. Give them to us.
Yeah, so I'll give you 3 guys that I definitely think you should pick up. Quincy Enunwa for the Jets. Eric Decker is out, sidelined. Possibly could be for the year. We're just not sure what's going on with him. So Enunwa, in the meantime, will start opposite Brandon Marshall. Very nice pick up and play type of guy that I want on my roster. It's a tough week for quarterbacks. We had Cam Newton, Carson Palmer go out with some injuries. And then we have bye weeks. We have 4 teams on bye this week. So Carson Wentz, a guy we touched on last week who's been very impressive, comes back from his bye week and gets the Lions, which is a very nice matchup. So pick up Carson Wentz if you need some quarterback help. And then finally, Robert Woods with Sammy Watkins out possibly for the year. A tough blow for the Bills offense, but Robert Woods caught 7 passes for 89 yards yesterday, and looks like he'll be a nice wide receiver 3 for you. Should see plenty of targets from Tyrod Taylor.
Definitely. How about you give us your little golden nugget of the week, man? You gave us 3 great picks on the waiver wire, but we need the money pick.
Well, last week I talked a little bit about Jordan Howard, and he looked pretty good for the Bears. This week we're going to touch on just a kind of a roster strategy. Guys coming back from injury, I'll name a few. Tyler Eifert should be back next week or maybe the week after. Zach Ertz also falls into that boat as well. But Tyler Eifert, and then also Dion Lewis for the Patriots, running back, should be back probably in the next 4 weeks or so. And then another guy, rookie, who hasn't even played yet, Kenneth Dixon. For the Ravens, who I like a lot. I know Terrence West had a good game last week, and people are going to get excited about that. But don't get too excited, because I think once Dixon's active, it's only a matter of time before he takes that job. So if you missed out on Jordan Howard, go pick up Kenneth Dixon and sit on him for a couple weeks.
Louisiana Tech, right? Isn't he?
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah,
underrated type of guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was wondering about running backs because I have Latavius Murray, who did absolutely nothing.
Sorry to hear that.
Sorry to hear that.
I have.
My condolences.
Luckily, I had enough to win still, but I also had Dwayne Washington from Detroit. He did nothing.
Yep.
I have Jamal Charles, who has a bye. So is Kenneth Dixon the guy I should target, or maybe someone else?
Well, I mean, Dixon's supposed to debut next week. I don't think he's necessarily going to start right away. So, I mean, if you're desperate for next week, I would look at Terrence West. I think he could be a decent 1-week guy for you for the Ravens. I mean, desperation play, you could look at James White from the Patriots, who I expect to be more involved with Brady under center. I think he'll see some passes. I mean, it's a tough go of it out there. You could even look at Jerick McKinnon from the Vikings if he's still out there. I mean, these are guys that you're basically throwing a dart and hoping and praying that maybe something
shit on the fan and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, that's the same thing I did with Dwayne Washington this week, but we'll try it again next week.
Hey, Bobby, I want to thank you for the Howard advice last week.
No problem.
I really didn't need him because I had Roethlisberger, Jones, and Crabtree.
Show off.
But I need a defense. How do you play defense? Do you have a streaming defense? Do you pick a week by week, or that's like my main weakness in fantasy?
Sure. I usually will play matchups, so I'm going to stream pretty much every week. For this week coming up, I mean, you could look at the Arizona Cardinals. It's a Thursday night game. They're at San Francisco, so I don't really care who's at quarterback for the Cardinals. I'm just looking at the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm not really impressed with that offense. They run a ton of plays, which is going to give a lot of opportunities for the Cardinals to get turnovers. Obviously, the Vikings and the Texans play each other, but they're 2 of the best defenses. But if either one of those is available, I'm taking a look at them as well. And then I actually like both the Redskins and the Ravens. They're playing each other. I don't expect that to be too much of a high-scoring game, and I think with Kirk Cousins, there's always opportunity for turnovers when he's at quarterback.
Are you trying to say he's turnover prone? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Bob?
Just a little, yeah.
Slightly.
Hey, man, before we're going to let you go, you know what we do here every week, right?
You got to keep it real.
We got to keep it freaking real. Take you back to reality, my man. So I like your Giants, and I like them for one thing, their receiving core. Is that the best receiving core in the National Football League?
I mean, if you're going 3 deep, I think it has to be up there because Sterling Shepard looks legit. Victor
100.
Cruz back healthy, and then obviously Odell Beckham. I would say the Packers, if Randall Cobb could get anything going again, I mean, Jordy is obviously top flight, and Devontae Adams hasn't looked that terrible. So I'd say they're in the mix, and I'd also say the Cardinals trio of John Brown, Mike Floyd, and Larry Fitz is probably up there for me as well.
Landry, Parker, Stills.
He's throwing out Dolphins names.
Wow.
I don't hate that. I like Devontae Parker a ton. I think he's going to be a really good receiver.
Yeah,
And
and
Kenny Stills has a touchdown every week. So
Yeah,
and
he-
one
and-
big drop every
and
week.
7 drops on a weekly basis as well. I'll take the drops. Hey man, Bob, as always, it has been a pleasure, a doozy, as
Likewise.
they say. And we hope to see you again next week. Oh, by the way, you got a couple of great compliments from our viewers because that golden nugget last week turned out to be golden.
Great. Yeah, let's hope we can do it again this week.
Keep it coming, and we'll see you next week, Bob. Appreciate you.
See you later.
All right, gentlemen. Peace.
A-Town.